3 consecutive out calls, all of them wrong, all of them overturned, all of them landing in the middle of the biggest match of Alexandra Eala's SEA Games career. On December 18, 2025, the 20-year-old Filipino tennis sensation wasn't just fighting an opponent on the court in Nakhon Pathom, Thailand. She was battling questionable officiating, a hostile home crowd, and the suffocating weight of 26 years of unmet national expectations. When the final ball landed out and the scoreboard confirmed a 6-1, 6-2 victory over Thailand's Manangkaya Sawanki, Eala had done more than win a match. She had rewritten history. She claimed her first Southeast Asian Games gold medal and ended a drought that began before she was even born. The last time a Filipina stood atop the SEA Games women's singles podium was back in 1999 in Brunei, when Maris Fernandez captured gold. That moment had stood frozen in time for 26 long years. An entire generation of Filipino tennis players came and went without reaching that summit. Before Fernandez, the trail went even further back to 1981, when Cecilia Piao triumphed at the Manila Games. Between those years, Indonesia and Thailand ruled the event, combining for 11 titles and effectively locking the Philippines out of regional tennis dominance. December 18, 2025 changed everything. This was Alexandra Eala's moment, and not even officiating chaos could stop her from seizing it. Walking onto the court at the National Tennis Development Center, Eala carried the weight of expectation but also the confidence of a favorite. She entered the match ranked world number 53 by the WTA, the highest-ranked player in the tournament and the highest-ranked Filipino tennis player in history. Across the net stood Sawanki, ranked 240th in the world. On paper, it looked straightforward, but tennis is never decided on paper. There was unfinished business between them. Less than a year earlier, at the ITF Takasaki tournament in Japan, Sawanki had stunned Eala in the quarterfinals, winning 6-4, 6-2. That loss lingered. This final was redemption, a chance to prove growth, and it unfolded on Thai soil before a crowd eager to lift their home favorite. From the opening serve, Eala made her intentions unmistakable. She broke Sawanki in the second game and surged to a 3-0 lead, dictating play with heavy ground strokes and fearless baseline aggression. Sawanki briefly steadied herself with a hold in the fourth game to make it 3-1, but the resistance didn't last. Eala elevated her level again, stringing together 3 straight games to close the opening set 6-1 in commanding fashion. Filipino supporters in the stands erupted. One more set stood between their nation and a gold medal that had been missing for over 2 decades. The second set, however, would demand more than talent. It would test Eala's composure, resilience, and maturity. After winning the opening game, momentum suddenly shifted. Sawanki found her rhythm, leveling the set at 1 game apiece. Then came Game 3, and with it, the controversy that threatened to derail everything. With the score tied 1-1, a ball clearly inside the line was called out. The chair umpire overruled it. Moments later, it happened again. Another incorrect call. Another overrule. Then a third time. 3 consecutive wrong calls, all against Eala. Frustration boiled over. She approached the chair umpire, calm but firm, and requested that the linesman be replaced. The request was denied, but the statement was made. Fans watching online erupted in outrage, one post reading that the calls felt deliberate. The officiating wasn't the only disruption. There was an unusually long pause after the first set, giving Sawanki extra time to reset. Once play resumed, the Thai player was granted multiple equipment breaks to change insoles, a tactic she had used earlier in the tournament. The atmosphere turned increasingly hostile, the conditions stacked against the Filipino star. The disruption worked briefly. Sawanki broke Eala's serve in the fourth game to level the set at 2-2, igniting hope among the home crowd. For a moment, momentum wavered. This was the crossroads, the point where champions reveal themselves. Years of preparation answered the moment. The countless hours at the Rafa Nadal Academy, the grind of the WTA Tour, the pressure of competing far from home against elite opponents, all of it surfaced when Alexandra Eala needed it most. In Game 5 of the second set, she refused to retreat. She raised her intensity, attacked early in rallies, and broke straight back to reclaim the lead at 3-2. The response was immediate and decisive. Sawanki, feeling the pressure shift, began to unravel. A costly double fault followed, allowing Eala to consolidate the break and extend her advantage. The crowd grew tense. The noise didn't fade, But belief quietly drained from the Thai side as Eala's control returned. Game 7 became the turning point. Eala stepped inside the baseline, dictating exchanges with precision and power, forcing errors from her opponent. Another break came, pushing the score to 5-2. Suddenly, the realization set in. Alexandra Eala was one game away from gold, one game away from ending a 26-year wait, one game away from changing the story of Philippine tennis. She walked to the baseline to serve for the championship, carrying not just her own dreams, but the weight of generations who had fallen short before her. The final game was anything but simple. Swanky refused to surrender quietly, digging deep and matching Eala shot for shot. The rallies grew longer, heavier, each exchange testing nerves and endurance. Neither player blinked. The crowd held its breath as match point arrived. On the decisive rally, Swanky attempted a daring cross-court pass under pressure. The ball sailed wide. It was over. Gold was secured. Eala dropped her racket and covered her face, emotion pouring out in waves. Filipino fans erupted, their cheers cutting through the stunned silence. Against adversity, against controversy, against a partisan crowd, Alexandra Eala had delivered. The Philippines had its first SEA Games women's singles tennis gold medal in 26 years. Moments after history was made, Eala stood courtside for her post-match interview, still trying to process what she had accomplished. Her voice trembled as she spoke. Ending the year this way, she said, felt unbelievable. It wasn't something she had imagined at the beginning of the season. Later, speaking to Olympics.com, she admitted she was overwhelmed with joy, proud beyond words to bring that level of honor to her country. The emotion fully surfaced when she embraced her parents. In a powerful, symbolic moment, Eala placed the gold medal around her mother's neck. Rita Manoyala, herself a former SEA Games medalist who won bronze in the women's 100-meter backstroke 4 decades earlier, stood beside her daughter with tears in her eyes. 2 generations of Filipino athletes, bound by sacrifice, discipline, and national pride, shared the same stage. What makes the triumph even more extraordinary is the context of Eala's 2025 season. This was not an isolated miracle. It was the culmination of a year that transformed her from a promising talent into a global contender. She began the year ranked 138th in the world. Match by match, tournament by tournament, she climbed. By November, she reached a career-high ranking of world number 50. By the time she stepped onto the court in Thailand, she stood at number 53, already the highest-ranked Filipino tennis player in history. The breakthroughs came quickly and convincingly. At the Miami Open, she stunned the tennis world by reaching the semifinals, becoming the first Filipina ever to reach the last 4 of a WTA 1000 event. Along that run, she defeated 3 former Grand Slam champions, proving her game could stand up to the sports elite. She made her Grand Slam main draw debuts at the French Open, Wimbledon, and the US Open, each appearance marking another milestone. At Flushing Meadows, she etched her name into history once again by becoming the first Filipino in the Open era to win a main draw match at any Grand Slam, defeating Denmark's Clara Tauson, then ranked world number 15. In September, Eala captured her first WTA Tour title at the Guadalajara 125 Open, a victory that confirmed her rise was no longer a surprise but a reality. Nearly 354 days after beginning her season in qualifying rounds far from the spotlight, her journey ended on that court in Thailand with a gold medal hanging from her neck. The road to SEA Games glory had been deliberate, demanding, and unforgiving, but every step prepared her for that defining moment. Alexandra Eala didn't just win a match. She ended a drought, inspired a nation, and announced a new era for Philippine tennis.